everybody. I see Jenny and I see my favorite Allie P here. How are you? How's everybody doing? Let's see. Oh, I see Ian and Rhonda and Sandy B, Shanita. Let me see. Hold on, you guys. Hi, Linda. Big hugs to Jenny and Allie P. Hey, lucky girl. Let me see over here, because I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Just wanted to take a moment to say hello to everybody. So when I did this GT, I had Rana George cards, but they were too large. And so I had to redo them with the tiles. So I hope that you guys can see this, because this is what I have that's small enough to somewhat fit into frame. Hello, Spooky Mama and Karen, sweet darling Lulu. Can you guys hear me okay? Or Peg, Cheryl, hi, Feisty Butterfly. Hi, Terry. Oh, hi, Carol. How are you? It's late. Hi, Brandon. It is late on the East Coast, Allie. It's what, 8, 9, 10, 11, like almost midnight over there. Hey, T-Barb. How are you? Hi, Sacred Turtle. Sandra from Connecticut. Letitia, Marianne, Karen. AJ, Patron. Hello. Sweet darling Lulu, Terry Solaris, Hieroglyphics, hello. Hey, Johnny. Oh, it's 11:22. Take a snapshot of that picture, Johnny. Big hugs to you, my friend. The stuff I ordered, I finally got an update from FedEx for you and Jenny. And I believe it's finally leaving Turkey. It was at Istanbul. And I think it's finally leaving Turkey. I don't know, Jenny, if I'm going to get it in time for your birthday. So it may come late, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get from Turkey to here and how long it's going to get in customs before it gets cleared from customs and then makes its way over to my house. So your birthday present may be late. It's good to see Johnny in the chat. Connie, Terry, Lucky Girl, Donna, Rhonda. So let's see. So I hope I'm not coming on too late. I didn't want to be interrupting anyone that may have been live. Terry got her second dose this morning. Congratulations, Terry. I'm still waiting on mine. We're here in San Diego County. It's for, they finally opened it up to 50 and over right now. So I don't know how long before they get done with that tier and open it up to everybody else. Because I really do think that Peanut should have dibs on the vaccination because he's type 1 diabetic. So he's at a predisposition, you know, or he's high risk because of his type 1 diabetes. So I don't know when they're going to clear it for everybody else. Wax spotter in San Diego. Yeah, I've been checking everywhere, Karen, and it's like, everybody's saying, you know, 50, it's only open for 50 and over. Because I guess they did all the doctors, nurses, first responders, teachers, seniors, people living in nursing homes, and all that stuff. And now I guess they're moving it down the tier to 50 and over. So you found it because of your type 1? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like where I work and my husband works, they are on the priority list too. And because of my job, there's priority there too. But I don't get that priority because I am not considered an essential worker that needs to be there. So I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I just, I just keep doing what I've been doing, social distancing, wear my mask. I don't really leave my house, which is great because I've saved a ton on gasoline. And if I go anywhere, it's just down the hill, less than a mile away to go to Trader Joe's, and that's about it. So, I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I'll let him know, Karen. Thank you so much, because, his type 1 diabetes, man, that's not a joke. And Seascape is saying she's had her second one today because she's immune compromised. Well, good for you. Hi, Freda. Hey, Cheryl. And I'm okay with not leaving the house, Terry. If anything, I take Bubbies out for a walk, or we'll walk around the neighborhood or walk down to the beach, and if we get that bored, it's not like we can't get in our cars and drive somewhere. You know what I mean? It's not like this whole thing has been cool with me. It hasn't really bothered me, except for the initial toilet paper scarcity at the beginning of the pandemic, and that was about it. April 15th is open to everyone 16 and over in San Diego. Perfect. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you. Karen, did you see what Mimi said? Mimi said that April 15th opens up to anyone 16 and over in San Diego County. They give the type 1s the Pfizer. Yeah, me too, T-Barb. It hasn't, other than the toilet paper situation, it's been fine. It's been fine. That and the insane amount of deaths, but I don't want to go in there. I don't want to get into that. So, has everybody been watching the Derek Chauvin case? I haven't been able to stomach it. I can't do it. It really, that really gets me, what he did to George Floyd. Brandon's getting his second dose on Tuesday. That's wonderful. Peggy got hers. Hi, Peggy, my dear. How are you? Peggy's saying she got her second shot 2 weeks ago. Oh, no, Peggy. Yeah, I know, D Rose. It's just, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts like hell. It hurts like hell to watch that. Yeah, it's just, I don't even want to go there. It took me a while to figure out that, and I didn't figure it out. It was with the help of Ona, because I couldn't figure out right after he was murdered. I couldn't figure out why I was an emotional basket case, which I'm not normally like that. Like, I would have fits where I would just be raging pissed. And then I'd be extremely depressed and crying, and, and then I'd feel guilty, like, you don't know him, stop being a faker. You have no right to, you know what I mean? And in talking with Ona, you guys know Ona from Ona's Tarot, she's like, oh, honey, that's grieving. I had no idea. Because in a sense, it sort of felt like I didn't have the right to those feelings because it was a person that I didn't know, but it's okay. I didn't have to know him. That was unbearable. It was horrible. It was, I can't stomach it. I can't stomach it. Yeah, I heard about that. Ona actually texted me this morning. She did her Lenny's this morning for her daily. And she got Coffin. What did she get? Coffin, Storks, Child, and Lilies. And it took me a moment to figure out that she had pulled Lenny's because they were different cards that I had never seen before, and the image was a little distorted. And I had been talking to her, and I was like, oh, holy crap, she's the one that told me about what happened at the Capitol. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You know? So, yeah. The Capitol Police and the suspect died. Yeah. Yeah, I can't, you guys. It's just, and this is what I was, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but it's like, this is why I was kind of enjoying the pandemic a little bit, minus the deaths. But it was like I was saying last time I was live, with people saying, oh, we can't wait to get back to normal. And all I can think about normal is this sort of stuff, mass shooting. We had 2 in less than a week, So, and now this, it's like, I don't want that to be normal, So I don't know. So anyways, I think I've been chatting you guys for 11 minutes. Now let me shut my mouth. Yesterday, Jenny asked me to throw a GT, and I was in bed. It was like midnight here. And I totally forgot to throw this GT until like about an hour or so ago, I think, when she reminded me, and I threw it real quick. This Grand Tableau, let's see if you guys can guess it. Who do you guys think this Grand Tableau is on? Johnny says, I usually chat for 4 hours. I'm a lightweight. Yeah, but Johnny, you don't start off your stream with just chit-chatting unless you're on your walks, which those are super fun. Let's see. D, Marianne, Karen, AJ, Connie, Shanita, Roses, Ian, Freda, Terry, Patricia, AJ, Charlene. Yep, everybody got it right. Everybody got it right. This is on Zeperv, Matt Gates. Yay. So, he's right here. So he's got all this on top of him. This is his current line. Okay. This right here is his current line. One thing to note in this Grand Tableau, heart is in its own heart, in its own house, meaning this has to do with something that he desires or that he is very, very passionate about. Johnny says he's here for it. He's got crossroads in the house of house, and also house in the house of crossroads, and crossroads in the house of house. So this could be in relation to decisions that he's been making while literally in the house. This could be talking about multiple areas where he resides. So I'm not certain if this is like Washington, D.C. and also Florida, because it's 2 residences. See what I'm saying? Or multiple residences. And then also in this tableau, he's got coffin in the house of tree, tree in the house of coffin. His losses continue to grow. They will continue to grow. Okay. So he's right here in the present line. Okay. This is talking about him being in a world of caca, poo-poo, because he's got clouds right here, and he's got tower right over his head in the house of whip. Okay, so he's currently involved in some legal disputes. But if you look right here, relationships with a child and then him. Okay, that is the current line. But if you look at what opens up here in this tableau, it's not just the relationships with a child, which, by the way, there's more than one. Woman lands in the house of fish. So this is many women. Okay. So it's not just the relationship with the child. and whip knights over here to ring. It's not just the sexual affairs that he's kept quiet that are now being, you know, the relationships have come to light and they're being discussed in the media. Okay. It's not just that. It's also the violent insurrection here. This is weapons. This is overthrowing the government and his involvement here. So wait for that to hit the fan. Because here's the violent insurrection, weapons here, overthrowing the government, him, and changing the elections here in the House. Does that make sense? So it's not just that. There's legal disputes. He's going to be caught up in court for a while, and also financial fraud this way. At the moment, he may be running to dad for some sort of protection. He's got clouds right here. Clouds is the king of clubs. So this could be in relation to his father. Okay. But there's also, hey, babe, there's also something about him and travel in airports for sexual activity. You got storks in the house of ship. This is travel, a change in travel plans, but you got whip right here underneath and whip right here next to it. So this could be traveling holidays for sex. And the sex was persistent with a child abroad. There was a child that traveled this way, but this is behind him. This is what we already know. And this is what's starting the tableau. It's the violent insurrection to the Capitol here and his involvement. Also, quite another way to read ring and child. Okay. Child, I believe, is it's a jack. Think jack of hearts, jack of diamonds, jack of clubs. Okay. Another way to read this, since scythe knight's over here to child, and whip is in the same line. And what is this? Ship is right underneath it. This could also be talking about his partnerships or agreements with those that were involved in the insurrection. So either Proud Boys, because child is right here. The Oath Keepers here with the cross over here over his head. Okay. But it looks more like boys, like children. So I would be a little bit more comfortable saying like Proud Boys or something. Maybe not so much Oath Keepers, because cross is not in close proximity to ring, if that makes any sense. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a super chat. Thank you, Janny. So there's that. There is also something in his line right here where his relationships with children, there may have been reports that were manipulated. So this could be, letter knights over to snake here, and it's got fox right before it. So it's fraudulent. So there's multiple ways to read this. One way could be his promises or his agreements or his link to the Proud Boys, and then talking about the fraud with the ballots. Remember that whole shenanigans that the election was fraudulent this way. So there's that, but there's also quite possibly records and licenses, something around children that were manipulated this way. Okay, and it's not just him. There's a whole entire group here that is in partnership with him. So it's not just him. It's a group of older conservative men from his hometown this way. If I box in the garden in the house of mice, okay, you have heart in its own house here. So it's a network or a group that's very passionate or has stuff to do with affairs, even though this is more sex, this is more like affairs. And it's a group of older men here. And there's something also going on around retirement communities this way. I don't know what this is about. This could be a residence in a community full of seniors here. But there's more than one man, and him and this guy here, that are involved in this whole shenanigan. And this is in the house of mice. So it's like worried and anxious about guilt here. And he's got cross over his head. Okay. And then it's followed here by fox. Usually, the closer that cross is, the suffering is not as severe had this been further away. It's close. But if you look at what's around it, you got fox here, coffin up here. So there's losses here that he's grieving, and then he goes on some sort of a trip or a death or an ending here to something. His losses keep growing. There's something that may have been said or may be on his phone, because you have cross in the house of birds. Okay. So guilty conversations either on his phone. There may be records of those conversations here, verbal testimony with letter knighting over to birds this way. And then there's also a letter of resignation this way. Okay, because if I follow his line, his promise or his commitment, there's a union here to these, not just to children, but to these violent people up here that has been secret. Okay. And he's been doing something fraudulently with either records, results, the mail. Okay. So we're looking at both things here. Remember, these are multi-layered. Okay. So not just and this is here speaking lies. See that? Birds and snake. Lies. So whatever he's saying is lies, and quite possibly around the election. This is his residence or his entourage, those closest to him. So this could be people in the office or his closest circle, those closest to him, his family. Okay. And then there's something here about that network, that shady stuff. Here, his hopes and wishes and dreams, there's that vacation or those trips that, the sex was persistent with the child that he was having a relationship with, and that child traveled. Well, that came out in the media. There's the vacation or that trip, the trafficking of this child. He's in a world of trouble right here. It looks like it may clear up for him, sort of, because he's got sun here. Okay. But then it's followed by barren mountain. So whatever it is that he covered up, and it has to do with dating here, because clouds goes back to birds and this goes back to letter, it comes out. And there's also fraud here in regards to something that he was abusing while in office and manipulating finances. Those finances come from this campaign here. And then there's donations that were made here, and those are false, and that comes out and gives him trouble. Okay, but either way, his success to remain in power is blocked and delayed. There could be an opportunity to resign right here. The corners of this tableau are saying that there is news of something that is suddenly being ruptured, and his losses continue to grow. Whatever hopes he had for his career and whatever contract he had to perhaps be some sort of celebrity, you got stars in the house of ring and ring right over it, those are dead. Those are dead. Whatever he desired, it's dead. Okay. I do not see him in this tableau. Okay. He is in the house of tower. He's got tower over his head, and he's got cross right here. It's hard to tell if there's an arrest coming for him soon, because here, isolation. He is isolated. Isolated for what? Sex. But not just the sex. This right here, the violent overthrow of the government and his connection to it that he tried to cover up. Okay. This could quite possibly be a man. I would read that perhaps as his father, because he's close to Bear. This could be a man. This could be a man. This would be more like Roger Stone here, because this would be an older person that campaigns. He's a loyalist. That's a liar that campaigns for conservatives this way. Older man, white hair, With the mountain right before it, I could interpret this as an older man. That is a rock. So perhaps stone. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These people over here, the violent insurrectionist. But Roger Stone shows up over here, if I'm interpreting the lilies as him. Okay. This would be perhaps the friend down in Florida that was setting him up with the dates, because you got birds right here. Okay. Over moon. So that would be emotional conversations or conversations to seduce this way. And this person is a player and a liar. Okay. This person paid money. And there was something here about his campaign that is false. There's something here with public funds that this person did something to. Also, besides the child trafficking, sexual stuff, and the insurrection, there's also money that's missing and stolen this way. Finances that are missing and stolen this way. And he's guilty of that too. And that comes out through word of mouth on this guy, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense, you guys? There's an opportunity for him to resign. But like I was saying, it's hard to see if he gets arrested right away, because the way that it had come up for Epstein in the Grand Tableau, okay, on Donald Trump's first Grand Tableau, I'm going to show you guys exactly how that lined up, and I was able to tell he was getting arrested at the airport. Cross. Tower. And then Storks was right over it. So let me show you guys why I'm having a hard time seeing. This was from the, I hope you can see that. This was from the very first Grand Tableau we ever did on Donald Trump back in May of 2019, I want to say. Okay. And it was scythe, dog, ship here. Okay. So this little portion right here is part of these first 3 lines. And this is how Jeffrey Epstein's arrest showed up. Dog was in the house of Clover, so a friend that was a player and a swindler, that was doing sexual stuff with young girls here. And then this is how I was able to tell. Guilty, handcuffs, isolation. Where did he get arrested? At the airport. Oh, sorry, it was this way. He got arrested at an airport. That's how it showed. That's how arrest has shown up for me before. Like this. And the reason I was able to tell was because Cross went back to dog, if that makes any sense. Okay. So, and like I was saying, this one, it's hard to tell because he's got ring over here, but he doesn't have cross on him, meaning that he is suffering. Okay. He's got mice on cross and cross right over his head. And Fox right here as a thing. This would be anything like a trap, a police station, a jail. And then he's got tower right over him as well, which is all institutions, but institutions that can isolate you. And then he's back in the house of tower as well. So he becomes isolated. Does that make sense? So I'm going to ask it on these. He wanted to pop out, but I'm putting it back. Hold on. Oh, and also, I just noticed Key is in its own house. Key is in its own house. 3 house 33. Yep. So an affair that is extremely significant, and his losses continue to grow. And something about multiple residences or choices and decisions that he made in the house, or choices and decisions or routes that he had made in his home state where he resides. Does that make sense? Okay, so I asked if he would be arrested this month. There is something chronic or persistent, abusive, and sexual that is quite persistent and reaches its goal, and then there's exposure. Because, like I was saying, it's hard to tell. It shows him being isolated and institutionalized, and he's worried about the guilt, and there's significant guilt here in something that is said, or it could be something that is said or something that is on the phone, because it's in the house of birds. Okay? Somebody squeals on him, and it looks like the squealing 876 27 21 30 31 goes back to him. 19 2 32 14 comes out of an investigation. 20 23. Yep. But who squeals? Either, see, this is right next to this person. So if anybody squeals, it may be this person who's a false friend. Where's Crossroads in relation to this guy? Crossroads is over here. But this is also a pair. Typically, it's an older pair, okay? Like an older couple, an older man and an older woman, okay? But I could read it as a pair, so it may mean two of these people that squeal on him, because he suffers losses this way. And then there's something here with records, and there's a record of this idiot making payments, because he nights over here to fish, he nights over here to bear, and what's right in between? Letter in the house of mountain. This is not like extortion, because the scythe is way over there. This is payments that were made, that were handed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so losses continue to grow. An abundance of children here. Fish in the house of child. An abundance of children that come from where? This guy, the friend. Money and payments. There's your records, your tests, your results, your mail, anything that's documented. And like, this is financial transactions and records, but it's like on a phone, because birds is right up here. And there's also records perhaps for somewhere like a home or a property that they were staying at, or someone that they were paying. There's also, but see, this is April, May, June, July, August, September, So this is him right now. April, May, June, July. Somebody starts talking. But this guy goes to court in June, doesn't he? The friend, the guy in Florida, the tax collector, because he nights over here to fish, fish nights over here to garden. So someone, a businessman and public funds. So I'm thinking this is the dude in Florida. Doesn't he go to, yeah, Greenberg has his trial in June. Okay, so this is April, May, June. Something comes out in June in regards to this right here. He's going to have a ridiculous amount of trouble. If I'm reading this as his present, this would be the following month, give or take a couple of weeks on either side. So April, May, June. Okay. So in this column for June, we're looking at losses continue to grow and financial transactions and records, but money that was paid off to children here. Fish in the house of child. And there's records of that. And then that gets him in trouble. That links him. Okay, the link here goes back to Storks. So changes in relationships. So he's got Whip in the house of Clover. He's a player. He plays around. He's a playboy. This is a hit it and quit it. Okay. Type of guy. Changes his relationships routinely, but is persistent about being with minors here. Sex that is persistent and children that travel, but that shows up behind him. The ring nights over to Whip, sexual relationships that are always changing, and it nights down here to clouds. Those relationships are going to cause him a shitstorm. And those relationships are going to end up with him being isolated for those abuses. Now, there's a trial up here that's on his mind, and it has to do with this guy, because this is everything that's on his mind. This is where he's going. This is what is under his control. Okay, so he may feel like he can stomp this out and just kind of, but I would say no. If he does, he's burying his head in the sand and not seeing it for what it is. Because he thinks right here, he's got Fox right next to him. He thinks he can weasel out of this. And he's got Fox in the house of, what is this, garden? A suspicious network of people. But let me see. Okay. So this is him. So this is a person that changes and improves friendships and loyalties for the public. Manipulator right there. If this is that other dude, the tax collector in Florida, if I read it in that context, he moved and traveled to go see this friend at a park or to go to some sort of campaign as well. Okay, let me read what's around him. He's going to continue to be persistently isolated and suffer. Okay, I'm just boxing him into this little box here. Persistent isolation and suffering here for him. Okay. He is a bit naive, immature, and a freaking idiot. But he thinks he's smart enough to try to get out of it, or he's looking for an escape route out here with the fox. Okay. Um, he's in for a seriously difficult journey, but again, he feels like he's in control of it and he'll come out successful. Why? Because he's got sun back on his house. But like I said, this guy is burying his head in the sand and he doesn't see what's coming. He does not see it. Because this is saying, cut your losses, buddy. Cut your losses, and your problems are going to continue to grow. Your losses continue to grow. The elections in his home, if I read house in the house of crossroads in the house of house. So this could be an elections in Florida as well, where he has power over. So there may be something there, perhaps with elected officials in Florida that may be involved, or that this guy and this guy, because there's a whole network of men. This is King of Hearts, King of Spades, Queen of Diamonds, King of Diamonds, or Queen of Clubs, King of Diamonds. There's a whole network of conservatives in his home state, and there's something here about doing some shady stuff. This would be your ballots in the mail. Suffering. There may be something here as well. Oh, this is also because it nights here to Clover. If I read it in the literal sense, okay, clouds is anything gaseous, like clouds in the sky, smoke. And it nights over here to bouquet. This would be like marijuana. Okay? Smoking marijuana. And perhaps something drug related to a child. Okay? But that's already come out. There's suspicions of it or reportings of it in the mail, but I wouldn't be surprised if they find like evidence here of that. Let me see. I was looking at Fox. So a man investigates the ballot, or a man, and then there's fraud with the results here. Isolation and suffering. And then a lot of children, because fish goes back to child, or payments that were made to a child or children, again, because it goes back to child, and this means many. And then it's got crossroads over it, multiple children here. Okay? And he's manipulating something, his confusion, or his problems, it's like he feels like he can triumph over his problems because of his dad. Like, daddy will get me out of this. Like I said again, King of Clubs. Sun comes after clouds. So think about a rainy day when you can't see the sun, and you can't see, but then the clouds clear and you can see again. Like that's this. Okay? And what does he have next to it? Someone that's powerful and protective in the home and in the family. He's probably thinking daddy's going to get him out. Okay? Or he's clinging on to that hope that daddy's going to get him out. Daddy's going to pull some strings. If clouds is in reference to his dad may be calling some friends here, making phone calls and calling friends. There's something here on a voicemail too that is public or may have something to do with the rally, but there's a voicemail as well. Guilty conversations and news of that meeting or that phone call or that negotiation that comes out, and it could have something to do with his dad, because this goes back to clouds. If I read clouds as his father. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. Let me see what else. What else? Oh, Jenny just texted me. Super chats I've missed so far. Marie, Letitia, Renee, Margarita, Nancy, and Suzanne. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm down. I got my computer on the side over here in my little corner, and I'm over here staring at this thing. Thank you so much for the super chats, you guys. That's incredibly kind of you. But if this is his dad, if I read clouds as his father, okay, I hope you guys caught how I was interpreting clouds, not only as his problem, but in the context of his dad. He's blocked this way. He's blocked. And then here you got lilies in the house of sun. Okay, this is, it could be interpreted as success later on in your life. You know, when there's maturity, you become triumphant. You're successful. You have energy, but this is looking more like resignation. May have to resign here, an opportunity to resign. So this is August, September, but he's got sun back on him. Sun is the summer. This is the fall, this is November, and this is right at the change of seasons, but it's landing in the house of ship. And he lands back in the house of tower. And not just the insurrection, but this is like cutting your losses here, because you don't have a chance of winning this. And then you leave, you change, you move away. It's storks in the house of ship. So I'm wondering if this guy he can't take the heat. He's got sun back on his house. He's taken a lot of heat and he just bails because this is saying he's going to cut. Is saying he stays. Okay. Where's Anchor in relation to him? See? It's like he's going to stick it out and take the heat. But this is saying, yeah, it's going to get cut off. Scythe in the house of Rider. And what is this? Anchor in the house of Scythe. He knights up here. He's arguing and fighting. And he's got decisions and choices to make. He's going in all different directions. He's looking to be successful and hang on to power this way. And there's something here significant with this woman. If this is the woman that he's supposed to be engaged to, this is not a good relationship. Because what boxed them, this is a significant woman and he's a liar. He's a manipulator. A fox here, he's been cheating. Okay? Whatever he's been keeping her in the dark about, she now knows what he did. And and she's no longer happy. Her happiness and satisfaction with him is dwindling the more she realizes that he did it. He's guilty. If this is in reference to the most significant woman in his life, which would be, I assume, that Lucky, what's her face? Ginger Lucky. I don't know when he leaves. I don't know when he leaves. Because this line here is saying that he's suffering not just from the scandal that's going on with the relationship with the child. There's several areas where he's suffering here. And then look what comes before this, the insurrection, the violent insurrection. If I look at where he's suffering, there's multiple areas here in multiple places, in two places, his home state and in the house, the House of Representatives. Okay. If I look before, weapons and an insurrection here to the Capitol. There's multiple investigations here into him. It's not just financial fraud, paying kids and all this and that other stuff. It's also this, the insurrection. So there's multiple investigations where he's going to suffer, that it's going to put a burden on him and he's going to have make serious sacrifices. But then here it exposes, it brings everything to light, and it puts him under a lot of heat. Where is Mountain? Mountain's over here. And this doesn't help him either. Because he's got Mountain in the House of Lilies. Mountains this way, this way, this way, and then this way. Okay. Mountain is also powerful enemies. Well, look what he's got before to power. Power is blocked and significant powerful enemies here. Money was blocked and delayed. And money or payments for children or young people, because it's in the house of child, blocked and delayed. Big problems here with people or enemies, in particular, one here, one here. King of Hearts. And then this person that could be Stone. There is a suspicious, so again, with the heart of this, Cross in the House of Birds, Fish in the House of Child, Fox in the House of Garden, Letter in the House of Mountain. Suffering and perhaps something that was said in some sort of a meeting. Birds can also deal with dating. Okay. That proves guilt here, and it also knights. Okay, so a meeting, a phone call, something that he was involved with that in regards to communication with children and payments for children here are guilty. Okay. And then a completely fraudulent, suspicious network. um, and whatever results he had tried to delay. This is all tangled up between because this is saying fraud about mail that is blocked. Okay. And if you look this way, down this diagonal, trying to change something, a lot of pain and suffering and mail that is delayed. Okay. Why? Because they were cheating. They were being suspicious and sneaky and manipulative. He may have been involved with this right here, cross in the house of birds and fish in the house of child, could also be in reference to not just phone calls and meetings and text messages and all that sort of stuff between this guy and kids and him getting the word about the kids and banging children. Also, not just that, but perhaps some sort of involvement in a meeting that took place on how they were going to delay mail, if you look at it this way. Why? So that they can change elections this way for an advantage. And that goes down this diagonal this way. Change is difficult and the mail is delayed. Change for what? Elections. Does that make sense? So there's more than one theme here. Proud Boys, the kids, financial fraud, campaign fraud, this way, this way, this way, and this way, okay, and this way. Drugs. I don't see committees for Marie. I'm sorry, I just saw your super chat. Thank you so much. The committees, if there's committees, it would be here and here. Look how far away he is. And what does this tableau start with? Scythe. News that you're being cut off. Something is being ruptured. Something is being taken away. Does that make sense? And whatever he is hiding, okay, here in book, that comes out. If you go back to House of Book, where's the House of Book? Let me see. It comes out. Suddenly revealing secrets. Okay, but this is behind him. All right? This is behind him. But you have book here as well and underneath in the house. It comes out. Secrets here about changes. Secrets about what? Look right above the insurrection. Here, violence and weapons changing the government for the elections. Those secrets come out either right here or they come out over here. That comes out. The relationships that he was having behind him, that's come out. Secrets that he was keeping around children are causing him huge amounts of trouble. And there's something here also that is troublesome in regards to records, mail, results, tests, right here. Because whatever he was hiding here, this is in the house of letter, comes out over here. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you, Brandon. Does that make sense, y'all? Now, there's a significant affair. His losses are growing in multiple residences. And this is saying cut and run. There's a powerful woman here as well. Bear in the house of woman. And she's got house here, bear, and woman. So I'm wondering if this is something here about Pelosi. I'm reading it in different ways here because she's down here, but what's on her line? If I follow her all the way up, crossroads. Crossroads where? In the house of house. Okay, so this might be a difficult choice here for Pelosi, even though it's not Pelosi that would have to remove him. It would have to be, what's that bastard's name? McCarthy would have to remove him. But she can make things very, very difficult this way. This woman is powerful in the house. This woman is powerful in the family. She's significant and very important, and she can be quite satisfied, and she's very, 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 very persistent. There's another woman here that causes him problems as well. Snake in the house of bear. Oh, snake in the house of bear, bear in the house of woman, woman in the house of fish. That goes back to child. This woman, powerful in the house, like I said, she goes over here to mountain. A woman that could also be a powerful enemy, if I read it this way. She has access. She has access to stuff. She can open the doors for you. Okay, if that makes sense. A significant woman that is satisfied, but then that satisfaction is diminished here because of suffering, which goes back over here to him. Okay, also, since I'm reading this as multiple women because down her line she's got crossroads, I'm also seeing many women. She goes back to fish, woman in the house of fish, so many, plentiful women, bouquet, pretty young things, not necessarily minors, okay? Bouquet is 20s to 30s, early 20s to early 30s. Long hair, very pretty, very concerned about their appearances, that type. Okay, so it's not just Pelosi, but there's an abundance of women here that may have been bouquet, nights over here to clouds, drugs around them, and payments that were made here as gifts. There's losses, the growing losses here, the transaction, there's the record and the financial gifts to these women. And then problems with women up here. Queen of clubs. Growing problems in the house with the powerful woman this way. Okay. And growing growing losses here with a very powerful snake in the house of bear, powerful woman in the house that makes decisions, and then you go again, bear in the house of woman, powerful woman, Nancy Pelosi. Also, growing problems in the house because of finances this way. Big trouble this way. Coffin to snake. False records this way. Records that were manipulated this way. Problems and big delays. And an opportunist this way. Or a false promise, or not a false promise, a false opportunity for his career. Let me see here. The man is manipulating results or mail in the house on the committee for something that he is passionate about this way. He doesn't have allies either. Dog is far from him. There's no one around him that he can trust. This person is not loyal. This person is not trustworthy. So not only by rule of near and far, friends are not close. Whatever friends he feels he does have are, do not trust them, because he's got snake right under it. Like I said earlier, the closer cross is, the less you suffer. But if I look at it, it's got coffin here, fox here. I would say that this is going to stick, and it's going to hurt even more when this person starts talking, or these people start talking. This is, like I said, a pair, so there may be more than one. But it's also, this is the 7 of, I believe, diamonds. I'm not quite sure. So that's where you should get a very small meeting, about 7 to 12 people. Not something large like the garden where there's like a huge abundance of people. No, this is a smaller group. And also, whatever committees he's on, he's blocked here. This way. If this is speaking and at night's over here, committees, he's blocked. House blocked this way. He's got enemies in the house too, right here. This is the House of Representatives. Look what's right below it. Enemies. Problems here. An abundance of enemies too. Let's see. Where else does he go? This, if I read this as a man, King of Diamonds, Queen of, this is Queen of, not Spades. This is, what is it? Queen of Diamonds here too. Queen of Diamonds, King of Hearts, and King of Spades. These are people this way. Okie dokie. Alrighty, so hold on, you guys. I'm thinking. Give me a second. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Let me take a break. Isn't it weird, though? Like, Freda? Because you got that quacking on her. Jenny's texting me. More super chats from Earth Eyes, Pamela, and Marie again. Thank you. Because I'm like I said, I got my computer on the side and I'm over here like staring at this. So thank you. I was just thinking this the other day. The Marjorie Taylor Quackenon, you know, isn't one of the Quackenon conspiracies that all of these people are pedophiles and child traffickers and this and that and the other thing? And well, you got one right there in the house. His name is Matt Gaetz, and she's one of the ones that jumps to defend him. Oh my God, I swear to God, these people got their intelligence out of a box of freaking cornflakes, man. I can't. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to go refill my water and get up real quick. I've been, an hour? Let me give my brain a bit of a rest. Are you guys cool with me stepping down to get a water? Whee! And stretch my bootay? Is that okay? Okay, I'll be right back, you guys. Let me go refill. Oh my god. You want to go be with Daddy, Bubbies? Did you want to go be with Dad? Here, Bubs. Come on. Bubbies wants to be with me. Are we playing tonight again? Hey, look, we're up. Bases loaded. Justin Turner. Oh, I ordered a Justin Turner jersey. The fancy one. So now we have a. I got it for $255 because I'm a veteran, and they were having a sale. So so we can switch jerseys, Peanut, because now we have two. I got a size 45. Yeah, it has the World Series patch with the red letters or red numbers. So we can interchange them. Now we have Mookie Betts. I got a size 45, which is a men's large, because I figured we can. That's because the next size up was an extra large, so I figured I'd get a large. You have a large too? Yeah, so then we can. I figured I would get a large. Yeah, I know. I said I can get it. I figured I would get a large so that you can wear Turner and I can wear Mookie Betts, or I can wear Turner and you can wear Mookie Betts. So it was on sale, and I used my veteran stuff. Yeah, and you need to, and when you get it, you need to sign up because you get rewards points and coupon codes. But next time, let me know so I can use my veteran discount. Okay? Sorry, guys, I was talking to Peanut. I'll be right back. these little bugs. He doesn't know what's going on in his life. He just wants cookies. Give him cookies. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. So, oh yeah. Okay. So if I read this as the investigation results go to the House committee here. And there's something very, very passionate that comes out of it, significantly passionate, where it's a growing loss. Losses keep growing. I'm wondering, this is King of Diamonds. I'm wondering if this is, and since it's over House, and it's in the House of Child, minority speaker here with birds, minority speaker, what's his face? McCarthy, if that makes sense. So I'm going to read this as McCarthy simply because he's got birds here. Someone that speaks in the House, that's small. Okay, so minority speaker McCarthy. There's a loss for McCarthy here because of the results. He's going to have to sacrifice. He's going to have to make a very difficult decision and sacrifice something for his career where he betrays. And there's news of a betrayal this way. Let's see, where else can I go with this? Because the results of the investigation here to the House. Even though it's done at the Justice Department, but the Justice, if this is Justice, DOJ, FBI, because this is someone, foxes are covert, like a trap. You don't see them like you could a snake. A snake you can see in the grass. This is more covert. So this would be like FBI right here. The results from the FBI. Perhaps he catches wind of it because birds is right over here. So if this is McCarthy this way, he's trying to navigate this crap storm this way, but he's going to have to sacrifice something here and betray because of the results of this FBI investigation this way. Okay, so there's McCarthy. I can read that as McCarthy. Who is this woman? Friends that are snakes in the grass in the Conservative Party this way. Untrusty friends or untrustworthy people in this party in the committee, not only in the House, but also if this is where he resides, quite possibly in the state of Florida. That is conservatives. And there's also something really, really weird here with nursing homes or communities with seniors right here that they've been blocking results to this way. I'm wondering, this is King of Hearts. And he's got garden right behind it and lilies right here. So if this is McCarthy, because he's speaker and he's the minority, this man is in a larger committee of conservatives. What's the name of the Republican senator with the white hair? He's got white hair. Does anybody know? The guy that used to be governor, but now he's senator. Not DeSantis. Ron, is it Ron Johnson that's Florida? Is Ron Johnson Florida, you guys? Rick Scott. Okay. I'm wondering if Rick Scott gets thrown up in this thing too. Because like I was saying, King of Diamonds in the House of Child who speaks in the House, okay? McCarthy. Here, King of Hearts. That's in a larger body that's full of conservatives. They have a larger audience here that's full of conservatives, and they have more experience. Okay. And this place is divided evenly. It's in the house of crossroads. So it's 50-50. It's split like this. Does that make sense? What was his name again? Rick Scott? Because if this is him, he's gonna have a shit ton of trouble too. Because of an entire network of conservatives that gets blown up that were part of this whole network with women through this guy that was lying and manipulating. And this person here, this place is split evenly. It goes in two directions. It's a larger body of people that, well, it's not larger. It's actually less than the house. But it's a wider audience, and these people are more mature with lilies here. Okay. But then this whole network, and this is what they were trying to cover up. Okay. So this is in the house of letter, which is right here. It comes out, the entire network comes out this way. And that's what puts Rick Scott, if that's his name, the senator from Florida, in a crap ton of trouble, because it's an entire network of conservatives in his state, in this dude's, Matt Gaetz' home state. It could be local people, because this is more like your closest entourage. This is the network, and this is also a larger audience. Okay. But it's like betrayals and lies here. And lying about opportunities, and also lying and trouble with money, or not money, finances. Lying for power, with snake going back to bear. Lying about finances. But like I said, not trustworthy, snakes in the grass, in the whole entire network of conservatives right here. And this is linked to the friend that is a liar here with the snake. He's in the house of snake. He's got snake right under it. Fish knights over here, bear knights over here. This is more like your paper money. This is resources. What's right next to it? Heart. So campaign funds, not just for Gaetz, but perhaps local politicians in Florida at the state level. And something fraudulent with public funds that these people are also involved in. Also, this could have something to do with a campaign, somewhere where there is a large audience of people with conservatives here, where there's money and resources coming to this place, but it's missing and stolen, because this goes back to mice. Whatever is here that's coming, that's money and resources, gets stolen and missing. And it's public funds, and also money and donations that are given out of generosity. But it looks like it's more at a local level within the closest of the entourage. So it's not just him, it's this whole network of people. And that link comes through this guy, because it goes right before, and it's missing. Does that make sense? And that looks like April, May, June, July, quite possibly around August, you may get more names. If I follow it this way, this would be around August. Okay. Okay, so I found Rick Scott McCarthy, his dad, the friend. Also with this combination, quite possibly Roger Stone. White hair, older man. This would be white hair as well. This person, if I read the lilies as Roger Stone, okay, he shows up around the summer, April, May, June, July, August, quite possibly around August is where he shows up if I read it. Each vertical line is a month, okay? Okay, so what do we have? His entourage and a network that is very passionate. Big trouble and powerful enemies here. And he's a powerful enemy as well. But he's an opportunist for his career and his reputation. This is someone that likes celebrity. Because you got Clover in the house of Moon. And he knights to Moon up here. And he knights over here to Clover, artistic, well-dressed, dapper type of person. Snakes up here, perhaps wears glasses. Does something, perhaps a writer, or does something with his hands. He may have been sending out fraudulent mail as well here. Perhaps fraudulent mail to a network of people. And he was receiving gifts as well. This person's very persistent. 231, and he's exposed here. He exposed him. Or he gets exposed from this guy's connection because he's in the house of Sun. Okay, relationships and commitments change for trips and travel that he was trying to keep secret, for gifts that he was being persistent about that are dangerous, and also all the sex here with minors, dangerous. And there's news of a sudden rupture and a separation to his success because of those relationships. Okay, that's the line, the chain of houses around Ring. Okay, so Gates is isolated and quite ambitious. He's arguing in the courts, and he's hoping to win and salvage his career and reputation by being manipulative and sleight of hand within a network of people, or a large network, or a party, or some sort of rally of some sort. But there's thievery and losses here that he's guilty of, which are in some sort of a conversation or a meeting that causes a lot of confusion and problems. But the results are going to be a little bit delayed. It's going to take some time, but it exposes him. Okay? That's his line around the his chain of houses. Let me look at, if this is Stone, he exposes this. He exposes Gates, isolation, arguing with the courts, problems, hoping for a good reputation or success. Where does this go to? Manipulation in a network or the investigation of an entire network of crazies with mice, because mice is very anxious. Okay, so this could be crazies as well. And a network that is missing or stealing from a network. And then back to the guilty conversations and the results. This was an entire freaking scheme. There was payment. If I read this in the context of Proud Boys, because it falls down this line, there's a violent insurrection into the Capitol, persistent fighting and arguing here for the transition, okay, the transfer of power, and block it here, okay? So insurrection into the Capitol, the violent people here, all right, that are young, peanut butter boys that were trying to cause upheaval and delay the transfer of power here. The transfer was going to cause a lot of problems, and successful power is delayed. Okay, so they were trying to delay the transfer of power. That's this, this, and this. Okay, that's one context to read it in. By he, I mean Stone, gets exposed. It's like they, oh my gosh, sorry guys. Let me see. Thank you, Kathy and Marby. Sorry, Jen's got the direct link. No, Jenny, no. Jenny was asking, let me read this for you guys. She's talking about stars, ship, clouds, okay? And she's asking, can that be navigating trips problems, Proud Boy tours? Okay. The reason that I'm reading this as delaying the transfer of power, if you look up here, Jenny, there's the weapons. And remember, this is the exact, I'm going to show you how I figured out that was the insurrection. The grand tableau that you helped me with, okay? I'm going to show you. The one that you and Johnny helped me with. Where's garden? Garden. Can you see this okay, you guys? Because I don't want to have to be... These cards, I know they're laying on top of other cards. I wish I had something to cover it up with. Okay. Child, whip, scythe, tower, garden, and right above it is storks. This is a tiny portion. Okay, I believe it was like this line right here. It was the second horizontal line in the grand tableau that Jenny and Johnny helped me with, which was done in September of last year. Okay. In that line, I had said, this is what worries me because there's a lot of people here with weapons. Okay. Well, if you look here, Jack of clubs, Jack of spades, Jack of clubs, Jack of diamonds. That's a lot of male energy. And what do you have here? Weapons. And right after that was that building. Remember, I kept saying like a government building or something, and then there's your rally and your mob. Okay, so how I got this, Jenny, it's because it's the same sequence. Here, there's your violence and your weapons, and look what was over the tower, overthrowing the government, and below that was ship and mountain. overthrowing the government to delay the transition, the transfer. Ship is transfer. Okay. So in the context, I was reading right now, this in the context of his participation and his link here, his link to the boys in the insurrection here to overthrow the government. Okay. This means transition. It means transfer. Okay. So in the context of the insurrection, he has a link that has not yet been found, but those results will come out because you have clouds in the house of letter. Letter is right over here. If letter had been somewhere back here, covered up, it wouldn't come out. Okay. Now, in the context of travel with children, yes, because there's your sex that he has been persistent with. And then you have anchor in the house of Scythe, okay? So the sex that he's been persistent with, and then children that are traveling, all right? This right here, in the context of that whole situation with minors, it would be something that his successful ventures, going in a new direction on a trip, is uncertain. And also perhaps something that they were forming partnerships or unions or agreements with children right here. Stars is in the house of ring. Ring is right up here. Perhaps they were forming unions with or agreements with children or minors online. And then the journey and the transfer of those children becomes troublesome. Does that make sense, Jenny? Does that make sense, Jen? So, you have to remember that these are multi-layered. You got to try to, you don't have to, but, there are several contexts to read. It's called the Grand Tableau. It's the big picture, the large canvas, the big book. So it's kind of like reading chapter after chapter. There's many stories in this one ginormous spread. So I hope that I cleared that up for you, Jenny. Okay, good. So that's how I know that this means insurrection, because I had seen this almost same exact configuration in the Grand Tableau for the one that we did in September. Okay. But he's got a link to that network here. If you follow this line, he's got a link to that network. And this guy, Stone, has a link to that network. And if you look here, okay, the bear, it's power, it's strength, it's finance, it's food. It's a very large, heavy set, big old person that can protect you. Okay. Same thing with dog. A dog is more of a guide and a protector, but a bear, by just sheer size of reference, sheer, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. This is going to overpower a dog any day. So if you want a protector, you're going to want a bear. Okay. Powerful protectors, big, large, heavy set people, protectors. Powerful enemies for this person. Where? Bear Knights over here at a rally. Okay. This goes back to mice. That network is full of people that are anxious, worried, crazy. It's got lilies right over it. Lilies has to do with purity. Okay. And it's because mice is right next to it. In the house of cross, I would tend to see this as supremacist. Why? Purity, nervousness, anxiety, and punishment here. Punish people that are not pure. that are not lily white. Does that make sense? So they may have provided protection or may soon be, because he's here. This comes this way. So perhaps there's more that are being investigated and arrested that were part of the rally, because they squeal up here. They betray. So it's not just Gates and the tax collector and the child sex trafficking ring and all that stuff. No. It's also his link to the Proud Boys insurrection. What's his face, Stone, and then local officials in his state that are part of this entire network that are stealing and taking away. Thank you, Laura. Does that make sense? But he's going to get exposed and they're going to turn up the heat on him. If this is Kevin McCarthy, Fish, he ends up betraying because of the results of the investigation. And then the other guy in the Senate, Rick Scott or whatever, says, yo, you got to go. Because when they start seeing that this entire network of conservatives right here is about to, like, they're about to lose everything. And then finally, on his line of fate, there is a very important, significant woman and a very significant, very important affair, because he's got key in the house of key, heart in the house of heart, a very significant woman that is losing satisfaction. And it's not just one, it's many, because she's like in the house of Fish, and Fish goes back to Child. So many affairs that he's had. Bouquet here would tell me that these are women 20 to 30, but more than likely younger 20s. But if I follow her chain of houses, she goes to Fish, that goes to Child. So an abundance of younger females, not 20s, I'm talking minors. Okay, there may be something here with drugs and serious corruption, and he's got guilt here over his head, guilty of corruption. Okay. Alrighty, you guys. So this is something, uncertain meetings about his career in the House and problems and delays in the House here. A friend, tunist. Okay. Kathy and Marby. Oh, Judy and Kate. Thank you for the super chats. So yeah, that's the tableau. I hope I got it all. And again, as stuff comes up, I tried to go out 1 year. So we got from here to here for the whole year. But this is looking like significant affairs, multiple residences and multiple houses. So perhaps his residence in New York and wherever his district is in Florida, quite possibly, and growing losses and access and answers to the affairs. Okay. So, and then what was at the heart here? So, yeah, that's all I got. That is all I got. So thank you so very, very much for hanging out with me. I'm sorry I had to go get up and stretch my butt. Thanks for telling me to throw this GT on this creeper. So I'm wondering when this is gonna come out, because that's the first thing that opens up the tableau. This would be October or at the very beginning of the fall. So perhaps like right around the first day of fall, whenever that is. That would be what? September 21st, 22nd, something like that. So that would be, timing would be around the very, very, very beginning of the fall, as soon as fall hits, with this position here, Scythe in the House of Rider. This would be, whip is November, also 11 days. So we're looking 10, 11, 17 days, or around the 17th for timing. If I'm just reading this in the context of timing, okay? But I'm wondering, the change of seasons is when the news about the violent insurrectionist comes out. That's where I'm having trouble. So I can't tell you when that comes out, but look for this. Look for that right there, because he's linked to the kids that were doing that. So, alrighty, kids, I'm off. I'm going to drink some more water, put my stuff away, and try to get some sleep. Thank you, Marby. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. I have my notes. I wrote it all down here in my little trusty little notebook. You guys know how I keep the records, and I put the date on it too. See, April 2nd, 21. So I have it in the records just in case. Thank you all so very, very much for spending about 2 hours with me, and I'm sorry I had to step away. Sunday night we will be on Johnny's channel. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be live tomorrow. I'll check around. If I'm feeling up to it, I may come in and perhaps throw another GT. We'll see. I'll let you guys know, because I don't know who's live tomorrow, or if anybody's going live tomorrow. So we'll see. And yeah, that's all I got. All right, everybody. I have, let me see, availabilities for readings for this month and next month so far. So if you're interested, there's grand tableaus and also 1 hour reads. Feel free to email me. The links are all down below. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I shall see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.